Hey everyone, Mr. Msei here. This is a bit of a surprise lap guide over at Alsace Village with the Suzuki Escudo Pikes peak. And to access this special time trial, you want to go to sport mode, make sure you have menu book 9 completed, and then just go over to the lap time challenge and you'll be able to use your own Escudo or rent one out. Now, I do want to note that as of version 1.17, when the time trial ends, it is possible to get rewards for putting your time down. So you want to try to get the best time possible, preferably in the gold area, so you can try to get at least 2 million credits. So this will all be dependent on how close you are to the world record time. But anyways, with the time trial details, so Alsace Village with the Escudo, racing soft tires only, and the car is fully stock, and no, you cannot tune your car. Now, I do want to note there are a couple things that I need to keep in mind with this car. The first one being that this car has 981 horsepower. The second thing is that you want to keep the revs above 6,000 RPM, as that's where the turbo starts to kick in. If you dip your revs way too far down, you're going to get an insane amount of turbo lag, which will feel like your car has no power at all. And you can actually see me just trying that out right now. Just below 6,000 feels like the car has no power, and then when you go above 6,000, that's where the turbo kicks in. I'll show it again without me talking. And there we go, above 6,000, that's where the turbo kicks in. The second thing is that, generally speaking, you want to brake in as straight line as possible when you're at 100% braking power. This is especially the case when you're going through the final hairpin, because if you start to turn in when you're at full braking power, the front tires are going to get way too much grip and you're going to end up in the wall or spin out. Just like that. So you need to be really careful to there. Brake a little bit earlier if you need to. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started with the lap guide. The only assist I have on is ABS, which is at default. So you want to make your way towards the left side of the track as you start your lap, and there's multiple braking points that you can spot. The first one being the chevron sign on the left, the 50-meter board, or the end of the pit wall on the right. Brake as much as you can in a straight line. Start to turn in as you start to pass the hay bales that are on the left. Go down to third gear and get on the throttle as soon as you can to avoid having the revs dip down too much. Late apexes can be your friend, especially in this heck of an understeering car. But anyways, turn 2, which is this long left turn, you can take it flat out, bring yourself towards the left, and brake just after the curb on the left ends before you pass the sign on the left. Brake hard for a short while. As you go under the Alsace banner, that's where you start to turn in and ease off of the brakes, so you're doing a lot of trail braking. Once you hit the apex, get on the throttle, bring yourself towards the right, and before you pass the sign on the right, start to turn in and lift off our throttle. Try to get close to the happy little tree on the left and get on the throttle. Just trying to make sure you don't get onto the grass. Then brake before you go under the Gran Turismo sign. So you're braking hard for a while. You're going to go down to third gear, which will get the car into a nice little slide as you turn in. Hit the apex, get on the throttle as soon as you can. And as you go through this little right kink, lift off our throttle, stay on the right, brake really early for this turn, well before the first sign on the right. And you're actually using that sign as your turn-in point. So you're braking hard for a while. Then do lots of trail braking, so ease off of the brakes as you're turning in. Just try to be really smooth through there. You don't want to slide on that turn. Then when you go past the 50-meter board, lift off of throttle, make sure you're on 5th gear. Get really close to the end of the curb that is on the right as you want to take the rest of the bank turn flat out. Now here comes the scary part. Before you pass the shed that is on the left, this is where you can use a little bit of braking and throttle at the same time to try to keep the car nice and balanced. Straighten up your steering before you start to go at full braking power. So brake hard for a short while, go down to second gear and start to turn in. And once you get the car pointing towards the next section of the track, start to get on the throttle. You want to be really aggressive on the throttle. Get ready to shift up to third and fourth gears. And just as you pass the sign on the right, that's where you want to use a little quick burst of braking. Go down to fourth gear, hit the apex, get on the throttle as soon as you can. Now for the final chicane, you want to brake really early before the hay bales on the right. Brake in a straight line, brake as much as you can. For a short while, start to turn in as you pass the track marshal stand on the left. Ease off of the brakes, go down to third gear. Quick burst of braking as you pass the final sign that is on the left. Get the car into a bit of a slide if you need to, but get on the throttle as soon as you can, and that is it for the lap guide. I'll do a full run without the commentary in a moment, but first, thank you guys for the support, especially with what's been going on lately. It's been pretty rough, but I'm going to go ahead and go now. So this is Mr. CA wishing you guys good luck with this time trial, and I'll see you in the next video.